Okay, match 3. First game. I have to do a post-game commentary on this one. Let's get into it. And okay, my client's frozen a little bit. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Well, I mean, as we saw, we basically drew the Flayer Husk. This hand was arguably not keepable, but hey, we kept it anyway. They discarded our Thraben Inspector, but we got a backup one. So yeah, I mean, you know, basically we're kind of playing towards the Batterskull in a way. I mean, like, we're kind of playing more mid-rangey. And looky here, we've got the Sanctifier, we get to remove their graveyard. Luris to hand. Oh, this is just kind of working out. Sort of Fire and Ice, and I think that I'm going to be able to connect with this, and I think there's not much they're going to be able to do about it. So I have to think about this for a little bit, but I do end up deciding ultimately I'm going to just equip, and they can't block with either of them, so then I just kill the Luris. Now this does mean that the Death Shadow is at a 7/7, so I have to play Flayer Husk, and hopefully they can't kill both, and then drop their life total and 2 more Battle Rage. So obviously the worry is, yeah, that they can like double push, tap their Sunbaked Canyon, 2 more Battle Rage, and deal exactly 20. That is definitely a possibility. I block with twice, and you know, probably I only need to block with the Thraben Inspector. But you see, what I'm kind of worried about is Lightning Bolt. Like, they can drop themselves to 10, and then I'm worried that if they Lightning Bolt our Thraben Inspector, or just us, then we die. Because like, if it's a 10/10, we absorb 2 health. We take 18 because we take 10 minus 2 from the toughness down to 10, but then the other strike, down to 12, but then the other strike down to 2, and then we're dead if they Lightning Bolt us. Here, it's actually kind of the same thing, so now that I think about it, yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I double blocked. Oh, no, I know why I double blocked. Sure, Lightning Bolt doesn't work as an example, but, for example, Fatal Push. If they have exactly 1 Fatal Push into our Battle Rage, if I just block with Thraben Inspector, then they can 2 more Battle Rage, giving it Trample and Double Strike. Then they can Fatal Push, and once there's no creatures in play, it can deal all the combat damage to me because of Trample. And yeah, but that option is not available to them if they have exactly 1 Fatal Push, 2 more Battle Rage, and we block with 2 creatures. So, you know, I mean, I do expose myself a little bit to a Liliana, but I do have the play of animating my Inkmoth Nexus and sacrificing my Inkmoth Nexus. Plus, I can always shoot up the Inkmoth Nexus too, although actually that won't lead to a victory because that'll deal poison damage, but yeah, anyway, so I do have that backup. So ultimately, I feel like this is just the safest way to avoid getting blown out, and thankfully that is the game. Alright, let's go to the next one. Alright, match 3, and this is game 2, so let's see how this one goes. Okay, you know, hey, this hand is a little speculative, but I do end up keeping it. I mean, we've got 13 more white sources where this one came from. All of them will come into play tap now because the first one is the Plains. I play Relic. I don't intend to path this one this early, but you know, maybe we lose our path. So, all right. But that being said, I feel like the Sanctifiers, if I spike a white, are actually going to be stronger than path anyway. Okay, we don't spike the white just yet. What I do is I play this, and my intention is to crack the Relic in a turn. I could play the other Relic, but I just don't want to get blown out by like Engineered Explosive, for example. You wouldn't, you know, that's not exactly a card you expect here, but hey, they're playing Luris. We play Ratchet Bomb sometimes. That's kind of another alternative Ratchet Bomb type effect you could play. So yeah. Anyway, all right. So end of turn, I clear the graveyard, draw a card, and yeah, oh, here's my white source. So I Sanctify, I play Relic of Progenitus. They make me sacrifice, which is unfortunate, but yeah, I remove. Now I can play the Sanctifier again, and this time I'm going to keep it Inkmoth Nexus, and I get Sword of Fire and Ice, but this time I can have Inkmoth Nexus up for another sacrifice effect. Now, Sword of Fire and Ice, I could just get this because I just feel like, once I start attacking with Sword of Fire and Ice, I think the game is over. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons to be on like the bigger equipment package, you know, is because like in the traditional in the traditional, you know, Luris Hammer Time build, I don't think there was anything I could really, you know, fetch that would actually be like worth it. I mean, other than cranial plating would probably be the pick, but that just gives me +3/+0, which is not nothing, but I mean, I don't know. I'm way more excited about Sword of Fireness, and there's the engineered explosives we were worried about. So that would have blown us out if we would have played a second relic, because they would have hit our Thraben Inspector and both relics. I just couldn't quite deal with that that possibility. Okay. I think what I do is, it's hard for me to remember. Oh yeah, I just cracked the clue. I probably should have just played the sword, but yeah, I don't know. I attack. Yeah, I guess my thinking is that I want to hit land drops, because if I just play the sword, they can just respond with the engineered explosives. But yeah, anyway, so I attack again, see if they do anything. They don't. Alright, so, you know, okay, and they finally do something. And they do this again. So, and they don't seem to be putting anything to the graveyard, which I guess means their draws are good. Alright, okay, now here's where things get interesting. I think I just play out Batterskull. Like, I could play out Skyclave, but I'm not necessarily so worried about the dragon creature. One line that I didn't actually consider at this time, I remember, was actually targeting the engineered explosives. That's actually a super solid play, but I'm not necessarily too interested in protecting this Puresteel Paladin, so I don't feel too bad about not taking that. It was an option, but yeah, I think I'm perfectly fine. That was kind of brutal though, to hit the Batterskull, but at least the Batterskull's out in play, so they can't Thoughtseize it anymore. Alright, yeah, so I think I Skyclave the Luris. I think I kind of have to. And I guess I play the, oh, and I try to equip. In retrospect, this was probably a mistake. I probably should have just ran out the Puresteel Paladin. Yeah, because I guess the issue is I just didn't want to just, what's the point of running that out if they're just going to kill it anyway, right? So, yeah, anyway, this is threatening to become a little bit of a problem. My own 3/3 token that I made for them, dealing damage to me. Discard their graveyard. Okay, now here's the thing. Now I actually see the line, because I'm like, wait a minute, Sanctifiers, but they got engineered explosives, and I'm like, wait a minute, no they don't. They haven't. They had engineered explosives, no longer. And even if they kill the Skyclave, they just get a 0/0 token that instantly dies. So, alright. Yeah, now they're kind of in the hot seat. I think about this because I don't necessarily want to go down to 7 and then die to like triple bolt, or double bolt plus sacrifice Seal of Fire. But ultimately I decide, hey, I'll just do it, and, you know, hey, they take a path for some reason. Yeah, okay, and now I equip, and, yeah. Okay, so here's what I did, okay? Now, it might look like a mistake, because if I play Puresteel Paladin, then I can equip for 0. So why not just play Puresteel Paladin, then equip the Sword of Midas for 0, and Batterskull for 0? Okay, the reason, it's the same principle I was explaining in the deck tag. I get one free equip, right? And yeah, but they can respond after the first equip ability. I'm fairly confident they cannot target the Sanctifier. So what I did is I used the Sword of Fire and Ice ability first, and then I played the Paladin, because I knew I probably wouldn't get to do one more free equip. So I used my one free equip on the Batterskull, which is way more expensive, and I wouldn't actually have been able to equip it without the Paladin. So, and we're gonna see that play out here, where they, yeah, of course they respond with the Seal of Fire, which was just in front of our face. So yeah, so as you can see, if I had just played this out and gone for the free equip with Batterskull, I guess it would have amounted to the same thing. I guess I would have just paid 2 to just equip after that. Well, anyway, this, long story short, I had to equip the Batterskull first. Let's just put it that way. It didn't necessarily matter the order I did it, but I had to equip the Batterskull first. And yeah, so Batterskull in play. I attack. They had Kolagon's command. They must have been frustrated because they probably thought as long as they could deal with the Sword of Fire and Ice. Actually, no. Actually, they kind of they kind of were out of luck no matter what, because now that I think about it, they would have been at 2 life, and just a natural Sanctifier would have killed them. So never mind. I guess they were gonna die either way. Anyway, well, that does it for for match 3, and let's see how the rest go. If you like this comment, if you like this content, like and subscribe, drop a comment, yeah, all that good stuff. Take care.